Hi, happy Friday, happy early weekend. I hope you had a blessed week. It has been, a devastating week in Texas with the flooding that has deeply affected many communities throughout Texas. And, many lives have been lost, families missing, homes destroyed, um, and also many have been uh, displaced as well as still missing. So there is an ongoing search and recovery team that's helping with the discovery and just trying to put the final pieces together. Um, and coming, with a conclusion with this. It's really sad to see, you know, just reading a little bit about the city of where this devastation impacted. Um, it was once a very small and tight knit community, and to see it now in disarray, it's really sad and it's very devastating. And natural disasters, they move in seconds, but they can literally take away a lifetime. uh, these disasters, they literally take seconds to happen, and it can take up to a lifetime to recover. And so I pray that God provides healing, direction, clarity, um, as well as closure to the state of Texas, um, as well as peace, restoration, and strength. Um, but today I just wanted to briefly discuss a topic that had came into my mind. As you know, my mind is always thinking. But the topic to decide to rise is a topic that I feel is very important and that is needed as well in our everyday lives, because every day we are faced with hundreds of decisions. But the question is, are we making the right ones? When you have a decision to make, do you usually go with the flow? Do what feels right at the moment? Or do you reflect and look for wisdom or insight? Every decision that you make, right or wrong, has an impact in your life. The decisions that we make in the most challenging places are some of the most important decisions that we can ever make. Why are decisions important? Because decisions made today impacts tomorrow and the days after. If you are, let's say married with children, and you should always make logical decisions for your family. It's important, as a woman to let the husband lead and protect the household. And as a man, it's also important to lean into the wisdom and clarity of your wife. always make sound decisions that's gonna prepare your family for the future. If you want your family to see something in the future, you need to model it first. If you aren't happy with your life or the life that you're living at the moment and right now, or it feels like everything is just completely upside down, it's probably because you didn't make the right decision or decisions. And the only way to get out of it moving forward is to start making good decisions today. Every good decision that you make helps overturn any bad decisions that were made. What are some ways that can guide you to make the right decisions? Look to God. God wants us to live a great life that's filled with the right decisions. And He makes it very simple for us to follow through, within His message. And when we read the Bible, we aren't just reading a great book, but we're actually reading powerful words that are alive and active. God's given us the privilege and the responsibility to make the right decisions. When you look to God, you always set yourself up for successful decision making. Have peace. Having peace means that you are being guided by God. When you are led to make sudden or unexpected decisions, God will always guide you and instill peace through it all. And when you have peace, you let the peace in your heart decide every decision or every question or uncertainty that may come to mind. Try not to overthink. When we make any decision, it comes with some form of thinking, whether it's positive, negative, the options or the consequences. But if you're an overthinker like myself, it can literally prevent you from being able to make a final decision. Or it can cause you to make decisions that you may not normally make. Overthinking can really lead to doubt and really affect future decisions. If you feel like you're overthinking or having a challenge with making a conscious decision, try stepping away from it, even if it means just for a little while, and return to it when your mind is just in a much clearer frame. Have an optimistic outlook and attitude. When you are in a difficult place, you have to ask yourself, or you should ask yourself, what type of attitude, are you having? Are you going to feel negative, or will you have an optimistic outlook and try to make the right decisions or the best decisions? A positive attitude and perspective can take any challenging decision and really make the best out of it. Manage your emotions. When it comes to decision making, your emotions will always have a role. So it's important that you carry emotional intelligence. Too much positive or too much negative emotions can literally block your judgment, or it can cause you to make decisions that you normally wouldn't make if you were actually thinking from a logical perspective rather than an emotional one. If you're excited about something, you never want to make decisions based on that excitement. What you feel like doing in the moment can literally prevent you from making right, long lasting, and impactful decisions. One of the greatest gifts I believe that God has ever given us is really the ability to make decisions. It's important to take responsibility for making decisions that brings peace to our heart and to our lives. If you make a mistake, it's not the end. Being true to what God has put into your heart and what you know is right is key. Because at times, we may not know what is right at that moment. If you, let's say, have made some foolish decisions and it happens, or you're not happy with the way that things are, it can always change. But you have to be willing to take responsibility and accountability for the wrong decisions and make a determined decision to change the way that you operate. And when you do, you'll find that every right choice that you make helps reverse the wrong decisions that you may have made in the past. And so I encourage you to really think about the decisions that you're making in every area of your life. When you make decisions, make sure it's decisions that help you to rise. Make it a decision that you're going to make the best decisions that you can make. Because when you make the wrong decision, there's always going to be an outcome that you won't enjoy. But when you make the right decisions, there's always going to be an outcome that you love and enjoy. So ask yourself, what could your life be like if you made better decisions right now? And if you have that answer, there's no need to put it off any longer. And you also never have to waste, another day really missing out on the beautiful life that God has planned and stored for you. And I hope you have a beautiful and warm, humid weekend ahead.